To see the whole entertainment, dining, restaurant, hospitality, travel industries completely shut down. And I did an Instagram live the other day, and I said, right now, who is laid off? And boom, people starting requests. Have me. And I put him on. Guy from Atlanta, laid off from Doubletree Hotel. Another person, Indian guy, who's actually worked in the Philippines for a minute. He actually knew Tagalog. He was speaking to me in my native tongue. And he's a bartender at a restaurant called The Palms, and they laid him off in New York. I think it was at JFK. I'm thinking about all the guys that we had the fortunate opportunity to mentor and say, you know what? I can put somebody here in a situation where they can depend on them. All right, so it's the third week, going on the third week of this self-quarantine and this whole pandemic crisis. I mean, you've heard the term homesick, right? But how many of you actually feeling office sick or work sick, job sick? You know, when I'm thinking about the former careers I've had, you know, coming out the Marine Corps, you know, I was a lifeguard from 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I was a Jiffy Lube hood tech. I picked up my son, dropped him off at school when I was a single dad, and boom, I was a Jiffy Lube hood technician. If I wasn't working as a Jiffy Lube hood technician, I was working as an Olive Garden server. A couple weeks ago, I did a Facebook Live right in front of the former Olive Garden that I used to work at, because I was just thinking about what I was going through at that state of mind, panicking, struggling, just got out the military, paying the bills, you know, putting a roof over kids' heads, food on the table, all those different responsibilities I had. And I'm just thinking about those that just can't do that right now. I'm thinking about those that can't be a server, that can't be a bartender, those that can't live off tips right now because they're not serving. And to see the whole entertainment, dining, restaurant, hospitality, travel industries completely shut down and industries compressing, contracting, people being laid off. You know, I did an Instagram live the other day, and I said, right now, who is laid off right now at Doubletree? I'm just curious, who was following me on Instagram? They got laid off, and boom, people starting requests. Have me. And I put him on. Guy from Atlanta, laid off from Doubletree Hotel. Another person, Indian guy, who's actually worked in the Philippines for a minute. He actually knew Tagalog. He was speaking to me in my native tongue. And he's a bartender at a restaurant called The Palms, and they laid him off in New York. I think it was at JFK. And he's wondering what to do. Thinking about all this uncertainty, and I'm just thinking how faithful and grateful, and how my mind is saying, thank God I was in a situation where I was forced to improve. Thank God I was in a situation where I was forced to learn a new craft. Thank God I was in a situation where a crisis brought the best out of me, that my breakdown was actually my breakthrough moment to see, you know, you better learn some skills or else this is gonna get even worse. And I think that's where we're at right now as a country. That's where we are right now as a company, is how we've had to pivot and adapt. And I'm thinking about my office right now, thinking about office sick. We do meetings here 3-4 times a week. We help people make phone calls here on Monday nights. I'm thinking about right now how empty our office is right now. I mean, I got one office here, my business partner here, Maurice Hansberry, working with his team right now. But the rest of the office is shut down. This place here, normally on Tuesdays, is just jumping. We're doing pregame, we're getting fired up, we're getting, you know, listen, when we create a company, so we want to take the best of our faith, best of sports, best of our family, create a company out of it. And that's what we have right here. And normally this is where everybody's just jumping around, getting crazy, getting their energy, because we believe that money is energy. Nobody's here right now. Boardroom, completely empty. That's where all the magic happens. Another boardroom, training happens, orientation happens, empty. I'm thinking about all the guys that we had the fortunate opportunity to mentor and say, you know what? I can put somebody here in a situation where they can depend on them. Because people wonder right now, what's the best investment? Where should I put my money? What's the best money moves? I'm gonna tell you this right quick. I will tell you that the best money move, the best insurance I have, I'll get to in a second, is for us to teach, coach, and mentor other people. Look, I'm looking at this group of diverse individuals and multicultural middle class that we have the honor and pleasure of coaching and mentoring, to teach them how to become an entrepreneur. Because 3.3 million people last week filed for unemployment? I had a conference call with these guys last week. I said, how many guys filed for unemployment? Not one hand went up. I said, how many guys did not file unemployment? All the hands went up. And I'm thinking that they're not a burden on society. Why? Because they learn to be self-sustaining, self-inspired, self-motivated, self-starting entrepreneurs. I'm thinking about all the different folks here that represents a family, that represents their neighborhood, that represents their high school, their college, their branch of service. Very few of them, if any, are panicked right now. Why? Because they learn to control their money with their own hands. They're not depending on a stimulus check. They're not depending on Uncle Sam. They're not depending on the job. You know, we have a saying that he or she that controls your income controls you.